Okay, folks, it is before 6:30 in the morning. I'm a school teacher. I work about 40 miles away from the farm, and I gotta drop my daughter off to school as well. I'm already dressed for work, so I got a nice button-up shirt on, nice pants, and I gotta feed all of our farm animals. We got 5 horses. We got goats, we got pigs, we got chickens, we got turkeys, dogs, and cats. And I got to feed them all before we get to work and school. Normally, my wife feeds the animals in the morning. Usually, I might feed the cats. And then I feed more in the evenings. But she's not feeling well right now. And she has to take her son, our son, to a doctor appointment. So I'm letting her sleep in a little bit. And I'm feeding the horses, and then I gotta drive 40 miles to work, people. Life on the farm. Okay, horses and goats and pigs are fed. I'm definitely up before the chickens. Um, this is not a cup of coffee. This is a cup of chicken feed. Normally, we don't let our chickens out till daylight. I just don't want any predators getting them, especially this time of year. It's a bad time for predators. But since I'm up before the chickens and it's still dark out, I'm just gonna toss them some food so that when they wake up, they got something to enjoy. There's our turkey. Up before the chickens, people. Now it's time to get it in the car. I'll probably get coffee on the way to work. Normally I make it, except on Mondays and Fridays. My daughter and I, we treat ourselves to some good coffee. But yeah, I got about an hour to get to work, drop off my daughter, get some coffee. And thankfully it's Friday, and when I get home, it's time to feed again. Okay, I just filled up on gas. I gotta fill up on gas usually twice a week. 40-mile drive one way. Drop my daughter off to get coffee. Now I'm going to pick her up. I had a more fuel efficient car for a couple years, but don't have that anymore. This is my backup car. That's now my main car. So that's definitely a big expense, having to drive about 75 miles round trip for work every day. I'm actually at school. Something cool about my school is that I started a beekeeping club, and I've been doing this for about 3 years. So on Fridays we get to do some beekeeping. It's December, but it's really warm. It's crazy warm this week. It's 72 degrees right now. So we were able to do some beekeeping. We did some sugar feeding, and then we also put a quilt box on our hive. So, hey, my job's pretty cool as a public school teacher. I can't complain about that. I get to do beekeeping, and I've helped probably about 50 students learn about beekeeping. So it's the end of the day. I'm just here to pick up all of our beekeeping suits, our smoker, some other equipment. But now I got to pick my daughter up at her friend's house, do a couple errands, and then get home. That's something else about living so far away from a big city, is that on the way home, I tend to do a lot of errands and chores. Like we'll be going to Tractor Supply on the way home, which is still about 25 miles away from my house. So you gotta plan out your day when you live in the country but work in the city. Okay, folks, it's maybe 7:30 at night. I picked up my daughter around 4:30. Then we did a couple errands. Then we had dinner. And luckily, my daughter fed the chickens, goats, and pigs. And my wife is getting our son, who's a year and a half, ready for bed, brushing his teeth, getting his pajamas on. So I'm out feeding the horses. Same thing I did this morning at 6:30 in the morning. Now it's 7:30 at night. Horses got to be fed twice a day. Something that has made our life easier is we use round bales, and so we only have to give them new hay. About every 10 days we do open feeding so they can have access to hay whenever they want. So this is our typical day. And again, like I said, a lot of times my wife will feed more in the morning and I feed in the evenings, or we feed together. And in the mornings, my daughter's getting ready for school. But she helps in the evenings with the animals. Every day, twice a day, no matter what. If we go on vacation, we got to hire a farm sitter to take care of all of our animals. And that's just a expense. If you're going to have a farm, then it's just an expense that you just have to live with. Sometimes you can get a free farm sitter. We pay our farm sitter. She does a great job, and we pay her, I think, pretty decent. We'd rather have somebody that appreciates our animals and takes care of them, and is going to treat it like a job, not, like a free vacation on a farm. So I'm going to go ahead and feed, and then tomorrow morning is the weekend. Okay, it is Saturday evening. We've had a good day. It's been above average temperatures. We've been able to do stuff, have some fun, and get some work done. But I want to show you or talk about, is it worth living in the country but working in the city? Instead of talking about it, I thought I would show you if it's worth it or not. So check it out. So for me, it's definitely worth living in the country. We've been on this farm for 10 years almost. I did a little urban homesteading before. I've had chickens for probably 15 years. I've had a garden for just about as long, fruit trees. But living in the country, you can just do more. We have lots of great family moments, family time. We have lots and lots of animals. There's about 20 chickens and turkeys around me right now. One of our barn cats is hanging out. It's just more peaceful out here. Living in the city sometimes is more stressful, more crime. Things are more expensive. And out here, it's just more quiet and more relaxing. But really, I just like having a lot of hobbies. I love beekeeping. I'm getting into woodworking, making maple syrup. I love our hiking trails on our property. We got goats, we got pigs, we got horses. Things you just can't do in the city. There are a few problems, right? I got to drive about a 40-minute drive every day. But living in the city, there's lots of folks that will drive 40 minutes and they're still in the city. I have friends that live in Atlanta, and they have an hour and a half drive to work and back, and it's only 8 miles they're driving. They're stuck in traffic for 40 minutes. I'd rather be driving for 40 minutes than stuck in traffic for 40 minutes, if that makes sense. Yes, I could work at a school. I'm a school teacher. I could work at a school near my house, my farm, but I would get a significant pay cut. The salary for teachers in North Carolina is significantly higher if you're in an urban area. So for me, that pay difference makes it worth it to teach at a different school. And I also really enjoy the subject I teach and the classes I teach and the students I teach. So that's a big difference too. Even if the pay was the same, I might still work at the school I've been at for almost 17 years because I really enjoy the job there. Each person has to make a choice for themselves. Would I ever work in the country and live in the country? I might eventually. I don't have plans to do that right now, but life happens and anything can change, so you never know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you live in the country but work in the city, go ahead and tell me how it worked for you. I'd love to hear how it goes for you on your end.